Good evening, and I call to order the June 4th meeting. All members are here except Miss Green. Next up is the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
Thank you to the Piedmont High School JRCT. Next, I need approval of the agenda.
So move. Second.
All in favors?
Aye.
Aye. 8-0. Next up is the John H. Crowder Service Award.
For over 3 decades, John H. Crowder dedicated his life to supporting the youth of Union County. In honor of his enduring contributions and lasting impact, the Union County Board of Education presents the John H. Crowder Service Award every month to recognize exceptional high school students who actively contribute to their school and community. Recipients of this award excel academically and possess a well-established track record of community involvement. Tonight, we award the John H. Crowder Service Award for May to a Porter Ridge High School senior. Callie Tyndall is an exceptional student who has worked hard to positively impact her school and local community through her continuous volunteer work and service. As the president of the Interact Club and treasurer of the National Honor Society, Callie has been able to plan, organize, and execute multiple service events for Porter Ridge students and the surrounding community. Most notably, Callie spearheaded the school student blood drive this year, working diligently to help students donate enough blood to save up to 237 lives. She has also volunteered with the National Honor Society at the Common Heart Hunger Shelter to assist dozens of families in need. As a member of the women's varsity soccer team, Callie partnered with Hemby Bridge Elementary to assist in various field days. Her passion for working with children flourished as she coached the students in soccer. In her junior year, she developed an idea for a new club at Porter Ridge, focusing on women empowerment and mentorship. She started RISE, Resilience, Inspiration, Support, and Empowerment this year. She also launched a mentorship program with Porter Ridge Middle, pairing RISE members with 6th graders for activities focused on self-worth, self-love, and positive mental health. Callie will attend the University of North Carolina at Wilmington in the fall to pursue a degree in psychology. She aspires to continue to help children as a future psychologist. Board members and those who are present tonight, please join me in congratulating Callie Tyndall as the June 2024 recipient of the John H. Crowder Service Award. Very good.
Next up is recognitions.
Good evening. We are thrilled to shine a spotlight on 2 remarkable individuals who have earned the title of UCPS Influencers for the month of June 2024. This program honors the enthusiasm, commitment, and outstanding work ethic of UCPS staff members who consistently put in the extra effort each day. What makes this recognition special is that it is the result of nominations from our staff, students, families, and community members. These are the people who see firsthand the positive impact these employees have on students and their peers. I am honored to present Troy Harris, a school counselor at Parkwood High, and Anita Henderson, an after-school program coordinator at Newtown Elementary. She supports Wesley Chapel too. I will now invite the nominators to the podium to read the submission and recognize their honorees' accomplishments. Stacy Sebastian, can you please come forward?
Good evening. I'm Stacy Sebastian, a school counselor at Parkwood High School. Mr. Harris, come forward and join me. That's what this is. Mr. Harris took me under his wing as his mentee as soon as I arrived to Parkwood. He showed me all the ropes as a first-year school counselor and continues to motivate me to do my best. He makes all the freshman students transition to Parkwood smooth. Parkwood High is lucky to have Mr. Harris. Next to the podium is Chandra Lee.
Come up. Good evening. I am Sharonda Lee, the UCPS After School Program Director. I am reading the submission from an anonymous parent. Miss Anita is the best after-school coordinator. Not only is she attentive to parents and our needs, she goes above and beyond to take care of our kids. One day, my daughter had a really tough day at school, girl drama. Miss Anita consoled her, talked to her, and calmed her down. When I arrived to pick my daughter up, Miss Anita informed me of the situation and explained that I could contact her should I need anything. Miss Anita exemplifies excellence in her communication, both written and in person. She will call me to give me reminders to ensure that I do not miss key dates. She is a true role model for her staff. They follow her leadership and provide the same excellent customer service. Union County Public Schools has the best after-school program because of leaders like Anita Henderson. You're welcome.
I will now read the UCPS Influencers Proclamation from the Board of Education and Dr. Houlihan. Whereas the Union County Board of Education values the hard work of each employee within the district. Whereas performance is an essential part of district operations. Whereas Troy Harris and Anita Henderson exemplify performance, dedication, and teamwork essential to the success of the district and its students. Now, therefore, we, the Board of Education for Union County Public Schools, and Dr. Andrew G. Houlihan, Superintendent, hereby proclaim Troy Harris and Anita Henderson as the UCPS influencers for the month of June 2024. Congratulations on this outstanding honor, and thank you for all that you do to be a positive influence on others each and every day.
Next up is public comments. At every regular meeting of the board, up to 60 minutes have been allotted for public, what? Up to 60 minutes have been allotted for public comments. The board will not respond to public comments. However, a member may ask that the chair obtain clarification. Residents, parents, students, and employees of the district will receive priority on the list of speakers. If a speaker is not present when his or her name is called, the opportunity to speak will be considered waived. Only persons signed up may speak. Speakers may not give their time to another person or have someone speak on their behalf. Speakers may address the board for a maximum of 3 minutes. The board will not hear in open session complaints about the performance of school personnel, personnel issues, confidential student issues. Should a speaker wish to seek information or share items that may not be shared during public comments, members of the UCPS cabinet staff are available to address your concerns or provide information. Cabinet staff members are seated at the table to my left. The first person on the list is Bridget Ellison. Yes.
I'm kind of short.
Is a button.
I think it's on. You can hear me? Good evening. How are you guys? A couple people may recognize my name, some may not. My kids are students at Sun Valley. My biggest issue with Union County Public Schools is the lack of communication between all staff and parents that I've, seen throughout Union County schools as a whole. Policies is a big thing for me, and I'll use something simple as communicating threats, 10-day suspension, when assault is 3-day suspension. Makes no sense. I had to deal with that one, and it's a gray area in there when it comes to it. I've dealt with racism within Union County Public Schools and the lack of accountability in Union County Public Schools as well when there's evidence on cameras. And what else was it? Woo, Jesus. I'll use, like I said, Sun Valley, for example, it's 40% minority, 47% minority. We have 5 Black people in staff. That makes no sense. One is an AP, one is a course teacher, one is an ISS teacher, one is a secretary, one is a social worker. To have 47% minority in that school and you have 5 Black staff, I mean, where's the people that look like us for the students? The students have nobody. The students have nobody to go to, nobody to turn to. And, I feel like Union County as a whole could definitely use some, ethics and diversity and cultural training. Because as soon as somebody or talk with their hands is deemed ghetto and aggressive, or this is a threat, I've actually, been said that this is threatening to me. I'm threatening you because I'm talking with my hands. It's not a threat. I mean, I'm no offense to, the white people and whatever, but if I look at you and I'm talking with my hands, I'm not threatening you. But because you're not ethnically diverse enough, you take what I say as a threat, and that's not right. You should not look at me and say I'm threatening you because I'm Black and I talk with my hands. But that's what these students are dealing with because their teachers, their administrators are not trained properly, and it sucks. Because it's a lot of Black kids, it's a lot of Hispanic kids in Union County, and a lot of these teachers need to look like them. A lot of these principals and APs need to look like them, talk like them, act like them, walk like them, and it's not happening. And then you got a lot of teachers and principals that don't take accountability, and you definitely have nothing.
Next up is Shauna Saccone. Did I say that right?
Great.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. Since 2002, I've had a child or children enrolled in UCPS, and for the most part, I've been extremely happy with the schools, teachers, counselors, staff, and education afforded to my children. My oldest 2 graduated, moved on to college, and have been successful. My youngest is still in high school at UCEC. Every one of my children have or have had teachers or staff members who truly care about them, and I'm extremely grateful for this. Over the past 22 years, I've seen budget cuts affecting teacher pay, staffing levels, building repairs, proposed schools being scrapped, and the availability of school supplies being lessened. I've been through many redistricts, a nonpartisan board becoming a partisan board, the lawsuit that was brought against the county, COVID and the division that it ultimately sowed, the pushback on diversity and inclusion in the schools, unnecessary book banning and bathroom policies, and so many other things. I can't recount them all. I'm here tonight to ask how this board intends to ensure current budget cuts at the state level and the voucher program do not adversely affect public education in Union County. The changes in staffing from 2002 to now, especially with the teacher assistants in elementary schools, is just one example of how budget cuts adversely affected schools. How will you, as the board, ensure there's adequate funding for teacher pay and benefits, capital expenditures such as building repairs and new buildings, school supplies, and all of the other necessary things for successful students? We all know that excellent and well-performing public schools are a benefit to families, businesses, and everyone who lives and works within Union County. Please use the influence you have with North Carolina legislatures and ask them to repeal the horrible state voucher plan. And please continue to advocate for full funding of our public schools in Union County so that all children in Union County can receive a quality public education. Thank you.
Next up is Erin Muldoon.
Good evening. This is my last Board of Education meeting with my kids being in UCPS, and I just wanted to lighten the mood for a minute. And they're going to graduate a week from today from Parkwood High School. I wanted to see you all in person today and extend my sincere thank you to each of you who have selflessly served the UCPS community. Whether we agree or not on issues, this job is not for the faint of heart. I know that. And I thank you all for representing my children and all the children during your time serving on the board. I wanted to give a last little shout out, especially to Parkwood High School and especially their principal, Dr. Strickland. I've been in 2 clusters in a number of different schools in Union County, and this by far has been our best experience. She truly represents what it looks like to be invested in the children, their families, and it's reflected in her staff. She, like many of you, have been there numerous times when I had to go to bat for my kids and needed additional support to do so. So I just want to say thank you for that. Your extra efforts and concern has not gone unnoticed or unappreciated by me. I know what you do is a pretty thankless job on many days, and you can't please everyone, and sometimes it seems like you can't please anyone. But there are those of us who see you and truly appreciate your time and energy caring for our kids. So as we exit Union County Public Schools, I can say that I'm grateful we landed here, and I will miss it, and just keep up the great work, and thank you again.
Next up is Reagan Shaw.
Good evening. First of all, I just want to say something that's been bugging me for a while. Last meeting, we didn't open the meeting with the Christian prayer. I thought that was such a relief. And I just don't know why you think it's appropriate to do that here in a civic meeting. When we don't do that in our schools, we don't open our schools with Christian prayer. It's un-American. And I really don't think that we should be forcing people of all these different faiths at UCPS. I mean, not everyone is a Christian at UCPS. We have, Jewish people, we have Muslim people, we have people of all sorts of different faiths. And to force them into a Christian prayer as part of the civic ceremony is inappropriate and probably not lawful. I think there's some case law on that. So I just encourage you to look at that because I don't think you should be forcing people into Christian prayer. That's, some of my best friends are Christian. I've got no problem with Christianity. Jen's a Christian. I quite happily, pray with people outside of the meetings, but I don't think you should be opening your meetings like that. I don't think that's appropriate. Okay. Last time I did some groundwork for you guys to make a statement on vouchers like so many different school boards have across North Carolina. What I think is going on is what I call the great heist. They are taking hundreds of millions, and it will soon be billions, out of public school coffers and putting them into private schools. Most of those people that are getting those vouchers do not need help putting their kids in private school. Their kids are already in private school. They can afford it. What we need is to use that money in our public schools. It is a complete reversal of how we have run this country for decades. And it's run by a lot of the homeschooling movement. And it's just very sad to see that you guys will not speak out publicly about what's going on, because it's not about you individually putting pressure on the five of them, ARP, Brody, Craven, Johnson, Willis. It's not about you guys individually doing that. It's about all of us together doing that. And in order to do that, we need to educate the public about what's going on. Because a lot of people are confused. They're starting to see the effects of it, but the real effects of it will only happen after it's too late, after that money has gone. And it's really up to you guys to raise the alarm. And that's really part of your job, is to advocate publicly and privately. You can, advocate privately all you want, but it is your job to advocate publicly, and you're staying silent on the biggest heist that we've seen of our public school coffers ever. This is wrong, and it's time to speak up about it or call the people out that are acting like Trojan horses, that are not actually truly ready to fight for public school when it really matters. Thank you.
Next up is Jen Saunders.
Madam Chair, before the next speaker, I'd like a clarification, please. I believe our invocation is given before the meeting is called to order, and no one is forced to be involved in this invocation. Is that correct?
Good evening, Board. First, I'd like to congratulate all the graduates of 2024. We know it's been a long road to get where you are, and I hope you enjoy every moment of this, and because remembering your high school graduation is one of those core memories. I'd also like to take a moment to thank each and every one of our educators for another great year. I know it hasn't always been easy, and I know the days can seem long, but you're making such a difference in our children's lives, and for that, I will forever be grateful. Speaking of educators, I wanted to say that I am optimistic and happy that the county commissioners have agreed to fund UCPS's budget and the asks that are coming up for next year. Hopefully, they pass a budget in 2 weeks. Cross our fingers. I'd also like to be as encouraged that the state may up the budget, but as we know, they're doing everything they can in their power to defund public education, so I wouldn't hold my breath. At the county commissioners meeting last night, Mr. Helms brought up about the charter schools, just like Mr. Kirkpatrick did last month. That $14.2 million will go, which is an astronomical amount, will go to the charter schools that have no oversight, meaning we take care of all the paperwork, as Mr. Sides had mentioned last night, and that we don't know if they come back to UCPS, if they're coming back, but the charters still keep the money. I'm bringing that up because that is exactly what is happening with the with the voucher program. It's important that we understand that it's hard enough to fight and push for our public education, but when our government, our state legislators are purposely defunding the public education for the voucher program, we will have no money to fund anything. So on May 2nd, they passed an additional $463 million to put through the voucher program. That's $463 million that could go to public education. That's $463 million that could help pay for teachers, pay for buildings. It's not going to pay a teacher's our living wage. All of our costs of living are going up. And we all have to deal with inflation. We all have our daily lives, and yet our teachers aren't getting the raises. It is in our budget to get the $11.50 raise, and that's fantastic, but it's just a start. We obviously have more work to do, and we appreciate all the hard work that the main office had did for the budget and how you guys have passed the budget, so I appreciate that. I am a little bit concerned about the number of resignations and leaving. We have 137 in June. That seems like a lot of teachers. 50 of them from the ESSER program, I assume. I'm hoping now that the county commissioners are going to pass the budget that it will be able to bring that tutor program back and save it. That's our hope. But 137 educators are leaving, and we don't know what's going to happen in 4 days. So thank you very much, and happy school year.
Next up, I need the approval of the minutes from April 23 and May 7th. Second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye, 8-0. Okay, next up, I need approval of the consent agenda.
So move, Madam Chair.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8-0. Okay. Next up is the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the last week of school. It's hard to believe we are closing out yet another year. This is year 8 for me as superintendent. I want to take a few moments to acknowledge our phenomenal teachers, our students, our principals, and support staff for doing such a great job this year. You set high expectations, and you meet those expectations and work so very hard. To our school leaders, I want to personally say thank you for your leadership, support, and efforts this year. Because of you, our schools continue to remain high-performing, safe, and a great place for our students. I also want to take time to thank the board for your support this year, as always, and for all that you do for our students and for our schools. I hope our staff, please enjoy your summer. Take time to travel, relax, spend time with friends and family. To our students, have fun, stay safe. Please read and do a little bit of schoolwork if you can over the summer months, and we look forward to seeing you all back in August. And congratulations on a great year. With that said, as you heard earlier, this is also a great time to celebrate our graduates. I want to congratulate each graduate and their families on a job well done. This is a very exciting time, and we look forward to celebrating with all of you. As a reminder, our graduations will take place at our comprehensive high schools June 10th through 12th in our high school stadiums. Each ceremony will be live streamed, and those links will be posted on our UCPS social media pages and the school's social media. And if we have bad weather, which knock on wood, we will not, principals will communicate those changes to the graduates and their families. And finally, right after graduation, we will move into our summer programs. Our UCPS mobile book bus will be back in action beginning June the 17th. As in the past, our mobile book bus will travel across the county at our summer reading camps until August. The full schedule is already available on our website under the announcements. And in addition, our school nutrition department will serve free lunch meals at Monroe Middle, Rocky River Elementary, beginning June the 17th. These meals will be served Monday through Thursday. Parents will receive flyers, and information will also be posted on our social media pages. Thank you again, everyone, for a great school year, and have a wonderful summer. We look forward to seeing you back in August. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Next up is policies and guidelines for review.
Good evening, members of the board. Tonight, before you, you have 5 policies and 1 set of administrative guidelines for review. If you have any questions, I will try and answer them. Thank you.
That's it. Okay, board comments. I want to say one thing. There's going to be no committees in July. We do it all the time. Yes, it's easier. Yes, because people are traveling and vacationing. Yep. Okay. Anything else?
Madam Chair, this year has gone fast. We were just here
Yeah.
in August. And so I just want to thank all the great staff across UCPS, our great superintendent, and the administrators that work along with him, that cover him. You all do a superlative job, and it's an honor to represent you as one of the 9 board members here in this great county. I happen to have been at a graduation for my grandson yesterday, and my big son, we kept saying, well, how do y'all do it, Pop? How do y'all do it? And we do this and we do that, but y'all have something to be proud of, and I'm proud of you.
I don't know if you could focus in, but I don't want anybody else to get accused of what I'm about to say. I have an open letter to our General Assembly delegation. And my following comments are mine and my opinions alone. They do not represent Union County Public Schools and do not represent the opinions of this board. Gentlemen, I respectfully ask for you to oppose additional funding for opportunity scholarships in this legislative short session. I have several questions and concerns regarding the Opportunity Scholarship Program. Number one, will private schools receiving public funding through the Opportunity Scholarships be required to abide by the North Carolina calendar law as the public school systems are? Number two, will private schools receiving public funds be graded on the A to F scale, similar to public schools, which are based on students' performance? Number three, what are the licensing requirements for educators in private schools receiving public funds? And four, will private schools be required to follow the curriculum as developed by DPI and the State Board of Education? Let me be clear. I support the private school system for parents that feel it's the best option for their children. My wife and I actually enrolled our daughter in a local private religious school during her middle school years because we felt that was the best option for her. All I ask is a level playing field. As an alternative, I would like to propose that the General Assembly appropriate a portion of the nearly $1 billion surplus for a significant raise for our public school educators to hopefully partially, at least, mitigate North Carolina's race to the bottom in teacher pay, which currently stands at 36th in the nation. Thank you for all you do. Signed, Gary Sides, member of the Union County Board of Education, UCPS parent, proud Republican, and an advocate for the public school system. Thank you.
There's a policy committee on June 18th at 8 o'clock via Zoom.
Facilities is June 26th at 9 a.m. and curriculum June 26th at 10 a.m. via Zoom.
The Strategic Planning, Information Technology, and Transportation Committee meeting is scheduled for June 26th at 8 a.m. via Zoom.
Anybody else? No? A motion to adjourn?
So move, Madam Chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.